Hi there, I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today. It is currently the 29th of July, 2014. We do not just have one, but two tropical systems out here in the Western Pacific. We are continuing to watch today. The first, we've already put an update out on. It was a tropical storm rapidly intensifying near Guam. But we also have another storm system, this large monsoonal gyre of a storm that is intensifying and pushing out towards, well, the southern Japanese islands, and it's already enhancing the monsoon across the Philippines. Actually, in some areas, you've already been seeing the heavy rainfall, including the Metro Manila area. It has been coming down out here, and it does look like these showers are going to stay in place as our low pressure area pushes off here towards the north. Now, what I mean by monsoonal gyre is that it is this large area of circulation, and it is producing a lot of rainfall. It really is not consolidated, though. It looks more like a donut sometimes on satellite imagery with a large gap in the middle, but it's just this overall circulation with all this moisture in it. It is expected to become a tropical storm, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does. I mean, we are going to be seeing winds 65 kilometers per hour or higher in this storm system. The Japan Meteorological Agency does expect that to happen within basically by Tuesday night and Wednesday morning here. When it does get upgraded, it will be called Nakri. I know we were expecting to become another storm system, and that would have been Halong off here towards the east. That one has already been stolen by its follow system over there towards Guam. The thing that has happened, though, speaking of stealing stuff, though, is that a storm system near Guam was able to intensify because of this monsoonal gyre. It did become a little bit more consolidated here on Tuesday, and that gave it enough space in between our storm system near Guam and this low pressure area, which would likely be Nakri, also already being called Inday, by the way, via Bagasa. That gave it a little more energy, a little more space to intensify. Now, with this pulling away with that one, maybe this might organize up a little bit more. But I think in the end, the biggest threat from this is going to be widespread gusty winds and widespread heavy rainfall. I mean, take a look at this. This is our GFS 72-hour rainfall accumulation. And you can see all the way from southern Kyushu, over toward Taiwan, Okinawa, the southern Japanese islands. We're going to see some areas about 1 to 200 millimeters of rainfall. Note that dark pink over Guam and Saipan. That is a Halong here pushing over, well, the Mariana Islands and definitely bringing the rough weather. But that big giant swath farther here towards the west, this is what's going to be produced by, well, Inday or Nakri once it pushes overhead. Big thing with this, though, it does have a lot of moisture to work with. It's sucking in all the moisture from, well, nearby locations, and it's going to continue to maintain this pretty large intensity. This is what I'm talking about, though. There's your center of circulation, and there's all that moisture wrapping around the south and off here towards the north and in towards the east. So the center of this low, as we've seen here on the track from Bagasa, I wouldn't worry about that too much because the worst of the weather will be well removed from that center of low pressure area. And really, this is going to be a wide-reaching storm system. So let's take a look at your precipitation and your winds here as we look ahead. Tuesday, Wednesday, really, conditions going to already start to go downhill in the southern Japanese islands. Thursday as well, they're really going to start to kick up. Actually, by then, I think we're going to be seeing, well, tropical storm strength winds throughout the day on Thursday in Naha and the southern Japanese islands, for that matter, especially off here towards the north. Maybe not Miyako, Nishigaki, but much of Kagoshima and extending down through Okinawa. Definitely going to be seeing these gusty winds coming from the east. If you are along the eastern seaboards here, you're probably going to be seeing some pretty rough surf as well, and just foul weather throughout the day. I don't think, unless this somehow rapidly intensifies, I don't think this is going to be on par with Nauguri. It's not going to be that type of storm system, but I think that people probably should stay indoors here on Thursday. It's not going to be a very pleasant day. I probably would expect storm watch to be issued for the U.S. military, and the Japan Meteorological Agency definitely probably going to issue typhoon as in 65 kilometer per hour winds or higher watches and warnings, and also they've already issued gale force warnings, so they expect something rough to come out of this. It's going to push overhead, though, and as we look ahead into Friday and then maybe by Saturday, conditions will clear up for those of you in the southern Japanese islands before this storm system continues to move north and probably becoming extra tropical. The bulk of the precip getting displaced towards the right here and impacting those of you into Western Japan and South Korea. So this storm system probably going to be hitting a lot of people this coming week. We have 2 of them to watch. Let's take a look at some of the other models, though, just for comparison's sake here, and we can take a look over towards what's happening with the NavGem, and that finally has picked up on our storm system, actually. I say finally because the last several days hasn't really been initializing the one over Guam. NavGem pulls it off towards the north, really keeps it as a large monsoonal gyre. I'm talking about Nakri here, that big area of emptiness in the middle with just that big donut shape of moisture wrapping around it. And then the GFS, well, you compare it up here, and they're also showing basically the same thing. Our friends at the ECMWF, that Meteor Earth app I was just showing you, and the NavGem are showing big monsoonal low, and then it pushes out and brings a lot of rainfall. Very indicative of these type of storm systems is a lot of rain, not only across the Philippines, the southern Japanese islands, also widespread areas seeing tropical storm strength winds. So you're probably going to be seeing foul weather this week. Thursday, Okinawa, that's the day. Wednesday afternoon and the evening, it's going to go downhill. But Thursday, I wouldn't make plans. That's me personally. I do like the weather being rough, so I probably would be outside, but I wouldn't make plans outdoors or anything like that. So, all right, guys, that's enough of me talking. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, post them down there in the comment box below. I always appreciate your feedback. Thanks for dealing with me here, and thanks for watching this update. All right, bye.